Welcome everyone. Welcome to Listen London. I'm Alessandro Grisani and I'll be your host. So, this is the place to share ideas about all things London. We've got some exciting guests lined up for you with great content, so be ready. Be ready to be challenged by the new ideas that you'll hear, by the new points of view. And throughout our journey, we'll hear from established thinkers, scholars, emerging personalities, artists, passionate people overall, really. So let's start with a little bit of a background about myself. I'm a medical student at UCL. I originally come from Italy. I've been here in London now for three and a half years, and it's a great place to be. Honestly, I love it. I love how alive the city is. There's always something new to look out for. The people that drive change, not just here, but everywhere around the world. And I think, the diversity of our communities, I think that's really what it's all about. In the past, I've lived in a few other countries. I've lived in Italy and Romania. I've lived in Greece. I think it's ever so important these days to have this international outlook on the world, to look out for the things that bring us together and how we can improve for each other. And I feel it very strongly, the way the world is so interconnected. Honestly, this should be our biggest resource, and we should appreciate its value and what it adds to our society, and we must never forget all the problems that it might create, especially for some of us. So, London is the place for change, that's very clear. We've seen the enormous capacity in resilience of Londoners throughout the pandemic, how they stood up for each other, each of us doing our bit, being bold when innovation could and has saved lives. And this is why here in Listen London, we're going to start with a look at healthcare and how COVID has affected the way we deliver medical care at an individual level as well as on a population level. Now, London is also changing structurally, combining the longer term processes like gentrification with a more recent push for green development, a housing market, as you all know, it's always on a hike, and the issues of social housing and homelessness. And of course, what does working from home mean for our communities, for our local businesses, the transport links, the way our homes are designed? Everything that we thought was normal is now changing. And here at Listen London, we want to hear from you what you have to say about it. Of course, issues like the global threat of climate change is so important. What are we doing about it? And can we do it as quickly and as effectively as we need to save our planet? Is individual awareness the way forward, or do we need a more collective push for system change? There's architecture, education, art, of course, the real pulsating heart of our city. Is politics failing us? What can we do to challenge those who represent us? How do we make our voices truly be heard? And also, guys, keep an eye out for our coffee table episodes if you want to hear from our friends about what living in London means for students and young people and how you can make the most out of it. There's so much to talk about with these and many, many more topics here on Listen London. We're bringing in thinkers, professionals, leaders of our communities, and each and every one of us that wants to have their voice heard, and together we're going to explore the big issues of our times. So stay tuned. Our first episode is released in just 1 week's time, so make sure you don't miss it. Stay in the loop. Just find us on social media. Look up Listen London on Facebook, Twitter. We have an Instagram. Give our pages a like, a follow. Share us with your friends. Honestly, this is all about reaching out to as many people as we can around our city. And of course, get involved. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got a story to share, something that you're passionate about, drop us a message or comment on our post. We'll be very happy to get in touch. We can work together to make your voice heard. Guys, that's all from me. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned. First episode is in just 1 week. I hope the podcast interests you. I hope it challenges you. Above all, I hope you enjoy it. See you next week.